Hello everyone, welcome to one another episode of weekly sectoral analysis. Now I think the fall continues. The momentum in the Nifty weekly time frame chart is down. Trend is also down. RSI you can also see is oversold. It's almost near 30. Now even in my last weekly sectoral analysis I shared this data that previously when RSI went below 30 levels was 6 years back when COVID had hit across the globe. And right now we can see that RSI is just above 30, close to 30. The last 2 weeks candle are negative. This is a bearish bell-toll candle. This is a gravestone doji. So continues the candles which are being built over here are negative. In the daily time frame chart, although things are a little bit different, the trend is down. I agree. The momentum is also down. But the relationship between price and RSI is different. What we can see here is we have a lower low in price, we have a higher low in RSI. Now, is this a positive divergence? The answer is yes, it is a positive divergence. Now, understand one thing, my friends, that सिर्फ पॉजिटिव डाइवर्जेंस के होने के साथ क्या ये मार्केट घूम जाएगा या यहाँ पे एक रिवर्सल आएगा या यहाँ पे एक बाउंस बैक आएगा? Well, everything is possible and maybe everything is not possible. Why? Because the reason is जो साइकोलॉजी है मार्केट का, जो सेंटिमेंट है वो उतना ज्यादा बेरिश है and the momentum is so strong on the downside that at times these divergences may work, they may not work, and we should not have preconceived notions as traders. And certainly I am more of a reactive trader. मैं predictions के बारे में believe नहीं करता हूँ. I am a reactive trader. So yes, there is some sort of sign visible that the speed with which the market was falling in the daily time frame chart may, I'm using the word may, I'm not saying it will, it may reduce, may. But again, is there any sign over here probably to go long? The answer is no. The answer is certainly no. Only one thing which I can see in the weekly time frame chart is the weekly RSI is oversold and there is a lot of space between the price and the moving average. Now due to this, if some bounce back may happen, well, it's very difficult to say, because what is happening is overnight something negative happens between the US, Israel and the Iran war, and then suddenly we have a massive gap down which we saw on Thursday. We saw 3 days pullback continuing pretty nicely and then suddenly there was a gap down. So things will happen. They are out of control. Stay light and stay cool, calm and composed as a trader, and don't have any emotional trades in your trading portfolio. Bank Nifty also, I would say the trend is down, the momentum is down, the candles which are being made over here are negative. RSI is not that oversold as it was in the case of Nifty, but even over here I would say this is certainly a sign that the speed with which the market was falling is reduced. Over here, although we may not have a completely positive divergence because we need a green candle here, but yes, it is still an enough sign where things could turn positive. Possibly यहाँ पे भी लग रहा था, यहाँ पे भी when market did surpass 55 to 50, there were chances that market could give a little more further pullback, but that did not happen. And on Thursday there was a massive gap down, huge gap down. So this is a war situation and anything can happen in a war, it seems. So stay light, and your trades, whether you are trading on the long side or on the short side of the market, आप जो भी trade करो, be sure that your trades are short-lived and they should be hit and run trades. Like you initiate a trade 1 or 2 days, 3 days, and the trade is over. That's it. PSU banking space, I would say that the state of trend is flat in the weekly time frame chart. It is better in comparison to the private banking space. If you have a look in the monthly time frame chart, you will see over here things are slightly better, but in the weekly time frame chart, I would say it is more of a choppy thing. In the daily time frame chart, things are not looking good, but this is not a sector where a trader would think of possibly initiating a negative position if you're a derivatives trader. So the state of trend is flat, and as a trader where state of trend is flat, I would like to stay away. Private banking space, the state of trend, momentum, trend, everything seems to be negative. Weekly RSI near 30. Again, over here we can see prices are making lower lows, RSI is making high low. So it seems that the speed with which market can fall might, I'm using the word might, reduce. But again, as we know, today is a Saturday, tomorrow will be a Sunday, and Monday market kya khulega, kya news aayenge from the war front, we don't know. But from the chart, as of now, we just have the chart right now in front of us, and we cannot predict what's going to happen in the battlefield. So as of now, it seems overall things seem to be negative. Only thing positive is we have a higher low in RSI. ये कब तक टिकेगा? Very difficult to say. So let's wait and watch. Oil and gas. Oil and gas, the state of trend is negative. Trend negative, momentum negative, RSI also below 50. And if you check, the daily time frame chart seems to be also negative. The next support over here for the oil and gas space could be around 10,804 or 10,800. All right. Okay. Auto space. Auto space, again, a sector which was an outperforming sector once in the month of July, August, September, which was running with huge momentum. Now the state of trend is negative. Trend is down. Momentum is down. RSI is also trading below 50. And even the daily time frame chart, you can see the way it is falling down is not that great. So overall biasness in this particular sector is on the downside. Consumer durables. Now consumer durables, the state of trend now is negative. Initially, I think few weeks back, it tried very hard. Even the state of trend improved, positive bhi hua tha, but immediately as the war was announced and things started going bad, once again it seems the state of trend is negative. And only one thing which I can see is, despite the state of trend being negative, prices are hesitant to move down very fast. You see the way, I'll just show you something, comparison. Just let me erase this thing for you. Okay. Now, if you just check, this fall is a high momentum fall. This is also a fall, but it is like zigzag. So probably it seems that few of the traders or investors, whatever you say, market participants, are slightly more not ready to give up their holdings, or not, they're not ready, I mean, to possibly go down. The bears are not that powerful to drag this particular sector on the downside, but maybe it's a matter of time. Once we have high momentum, then I think you will see some smoother trends like this, which we had previously in this sector of consumer durables. But overall, it's negative, certainly negative. Consumption pack, I think we can see a massive state of trend which is negative. RSI already gone below 30, but over here we can see that the RSI was struggling to make a new low below this particular low. Now, is this a positive divergence? Let's find out. It's not a positive divergence, because we already have a higher low here, and this is also a higher low. So this is not a positive divergence. Only thing is that from this level, because this was a support 10,580, 584, we just had a short-term bounce back, and then we had a gap down. That is the reason we had this bump in RSI. But overall, things are certainly looking negative. Finance pack. Again, finance pack was a sector which was really positive at one point of time, and now it is falling like a house of cards. You can see vertical, literally a vertical fall, high momentum fall. Even the daily time frame chart seems to be weak. Only over here, one data which we have is the recent fall has come up on the back of lower lows in price, higher lows in RSI. Again, a sign that the speed with which markets are falling may slow down if we have some positive price movement or price pattern over here in the next week. FMCG pack. FMCG, I think one of the weaker sector, which was already weak before the war situation and continues to remain weak. It's very, very smooth trend. RSI well below 30. Even the daily time frame chart seems to be pretty weak. And the way markets are falling, the way FMCG sector is falling, seems to be really, really bad. It is one of the most underperforming sectors in the entire list of sectoral indices. And the next support for FMCG pack is around 46,200 levels. Okay. IT pack. IT pack, well, I don't think I should say much, but obviously the state of trend is down the way it has been falling. Weekly RSI way below 30, and it's now trying to build something, a flattish move. And even over here, this was a high momentum move, and now recently in this phase the momentum is down, but it's vanishing, and it's like RSI is also going sideways. So is it going to go choppy, range bound, and maybe a slightly blip on the upside? Very difficult to say, but be very, very careful if you are going to trade in IT. Be very careful. Infra pack. Infra pack, the state of trend is certainly negative. Trend is down. Momentum is down. RSI is also looking weak. And we do have a positive divergence in CNX Infra. Yes, this is a positive divergence. We do have a negative candle, and then we have a positive candle. So this is a positive divergence. We'll need the infra pack to trade above 9,000 levels, sustain and close below it for some upside move. Otherwise, it's going to be very, very difficult. Metal pack. Now, metal pack, the state of trend over here is flattish. This was a high momentum up move. Now, after this correction of last 2 weeks, the state of trend is flat. Neither it is down, neither it is up. So far, I'm saying so far. But if we now start trading below 11,200 levels, maybe things can change. Initially, if you remember, I had told that 11,600 is the support. We have already traded below it. So the state of trend from positive now has gone to flattish. Still not negative, it's flat. If we continue falling below, then this flat could turn negative too. As of now, it's not there, but we don't know what future holds for us. And in the monthly time frame chart, we can see that it is slightly overstretched. The middle pack is slightly overstretched for sure. Pharma pack. Pharma pack is one sector which is positive. Only one sector. Initially, there were a couple of sectors more, but now in the entire sectors, I think pharma is the one sector which is still holding on positive. Only thing which I don't like is the previous week's candle. It has a deep, deep retracement, and this is a type of a trade which should not break this low. If this low is broken, then things will go into a problematic phase. If this low is not broken, and if there is a buildup of long positions here, then we might have a decent up move in the pharma pack. But stay stock specific. And understand one thing. At a time in a market when everything is falling like vertical, one sector is trying to hold on to its gains, or if tries to go higher, it will not be a smooth ride, because जब पूरा market गिर रहा हो, sentiment negative हो, तो वो जो particular sector ऊपर जाने की कोशिश कर रहा है, it is not going to be easy for it. Okay. PSE sector. PSE sector, I think it tried really hard, like a brave guy. It tried really hard to move higher, but unfortunately it's not successful, and the state of trend from positive is now flattish, and it's completely choppy right now. Choppy in the sense it's just going up and down. And in this sort of market where things are moving choppy, it's not going to be easy for any trader to make money in this sector. So as a directional trader, it's better to step aside. You can clearly see it's just chopping around. No point. Realty pack, the state of trend continues to be negative. RSI well below 30, weekly RSI. Daily time frame chart, it's very, very weak. And do we have a positive divergence. We don't have a positive divergence, but we certainly have a reading in RSI which suggests that prices have made a lower low, RSI has made a higher low, and we need some price pattern in the next week for this particular higher low to convert into a RSI positive divergence. अब ये होगा या नहीं होगा ये तो next week में ही पता चलेगा. India defense, well, amazing. Why I'm saying amazing, the reason for that is this sector was really successful in initiating and building up a positive state of trend, and suddenly we now have a fall. So now the state of trend from positive, it remains positive. It still remains positive, but I would say that the correction is very, very deep. Now, if I just use this retracement, it has gone well below 61.80%. Even if you take this swing, it's still below 61.8%. So it's really bad. It's not looking good. And अगर इसको reverse होना है, ऊपर जाना है, it should reverse as quickly as possible. Otherwise, it will have issues. That's it. Be very, very careful in this sector. It does have some positivity. I'm not saying no, but you'll have to be really, really, really careful. Okay. Midcaps. Midcaps, the state of trend continues to be negative. State of trend over here is negative. RSI is negative. Only one thing which I can see is this is a high wave candle, the previous week's candle. Generally, high wave candles, when they are made, I repeat, when they are made at a support, when the previous trend is overstretched on the upside or on the downside, then chances होते हैं कि यहाँ से एक bounce back आ सकता है. Now, do we have any data on the daily time frame chart which shows something positive? Well, there is nothing positive, but we can see that the RSI has started making higher lows. So now if we have something positive here in the next week, who knows, things might turn around. But again, there are two things. एक चीज हमें always आप समझिएगा, when the momentum is very strong, whether it is on the downside, whether it is on the upside, it can destroy any reversal pattern. So please, it's a request, do not jump on to conclusions. Do not trade aggressively on the long or on the short side. Be patient and trade in small quantities if there is something visible to you on the charts. Trade in small quantities only. Okay. So before I end this video, I will just like to share the same thing. Momentum is very, very high on the downside. There are many, many, many sectors. मैंने 3-4 बार मैंने बोला, so I hope you understand. There are many sectors where RSI is making a reading of higher lows, price is making a reading of lower lows. Yes, this does not say that we do have a positive divergence or something like that, but it does share an information that the speed with which market was falling might reduce. Now, will it change into a reversal or not? It's going to be very difficult for me to comment. I think it only depends on those three countries. So let's hope for the best. Trade very less, and even if you trade with smaller quantities. This is a time to save capital and not trade aggressively and make big money. All right, take care, guys.